It's Jada Jones from Miss Rominger's Period 7-8.
And my name is Tina Murphy. I am Jada Jones's great aunt. My birthday is January the 31st, 1969.
Let's start the interview questions.
Okay.
Who had the biggest impact on you while you were growing up?
That would be my mother. I looked up to her because she had 5 daughters, and she was able to keep us all together as a tight-knit family and work and keep her marriage together and teach us how important it was to be a family and yet to be individuals. So she was my idol, and I wanted to be exactly what she was, a secretary. It wasn't much, but that's what I wanted to be.
Okay. What was your favorite TV show growing up?
Gilligan's Island. Gilligan's Island was my favorite TV show. I don't know why, but I loved comedies. And everybody said that I was the silliest thing growing up, and they still say that now, but it's okay with me. I like being funny. I think I'm quite funny.
Tell me one thing that would surprise me about you.
One thing that would surprise that I have a very mean streak. That if somebody messes with my family, it gets very, very ugly really quick. That I have a very mean streak. Otherwise, I'm very nice. I'm very nice. And everybody would tell you that. No one sees the mean streak.
Okay. Tell me what you were like as a kid.
Oh my gosh. Well, do you want to know the part that my mother saw or the part that my mother didn't see?
Both.
Oh gosh. Okay. Well, the part that my mother saw, we were very obedient kids. We would go outside and play, and we would mind our business. We'd go on the playground, which was just 4 doors down and across the street. We would go to our friend's house, and then when the street lights came on, we would come in the house. And that's all it was to it. Now, the part my mother didn't see was that we would go outside and we would go to the old man's house across the street. And sometimes he'd be drunk and sometimes he wouldn't. And we would knock on his door, and we would call his name. George Deck was his name. We said, George Deck, you got any candy? And he said, you kids get away from my door. We said, you got some candy, George Deck? He said, y'all get away from my door. We said, we know you got some candy. Give us some candy. And we're still bamming on his door. And he said, get away from my door. And he'd finally come to that door, and we'd take off running. Just so far, though, to where he couldn't get to us because he was an old man. And then he'd go back in his house, and we'd pick up some gravel rocks and start throwing the rocks at his house. Yeah, and that's because George Deck wouldn't give us no candy. So at nighttime, we would, right before the lights would come on, we would do the old ding-dong ditch thing at our favorite woman's house, Miss Billy Joe. We'd get her every single night. And she would get so mad at us. And she knew it was us, but she couldn't prove it was us. So she wouldn't tell on us until she could prove it was us. But she could never catch us because we were fast. And we would knock on her door, and we would run across the street and hide down the hill and lay down there until she went back in, and we were sure she was in, and sat down and quiet, and then we'd go back again. So we were awful. We were awful. And we just did Miss Maggie. Oh, I ain't even gonna tell you about Miss Maggie.
Okay. What were the jobs like when you were a teenager?
As far as easy access to get one, or just what were
Like,
they?
What were the options?
They were mainly factory jobs. If you wanted to be a teenager and come out and get one, they were mainly factory jobs or fast food. Those were your only choices.
How old did you have to be to work in the factory?
You could be about, well, things were a little different back then because you could slide in at 17. You could slide in about 17. It's just according to who you knew. You know, and they really didn't care about a high school diploma then. It's not like it is now. You know, they really want you to get your education and everything now, which is very important to get your education now. But back then, it wasn't, you know, a big thing. So they were like, well, you're going to end up in the factory anyway, so come on in, you know. But that was about it, the factory or the fast food.
How old did you have to be for the fast food jobs?
Oh, about 15, 16. Yeah.
Okay. I just asked you the question. What was like television shows like?
Television shows were more family-oriented type shows. They weren't so violent. And the cursing on TV, oh, God, no. I mean, now you can hear every bad word that there is out there on TV now. And when I was growing up, no, that was unheard of. They would bleep everything out. I mean, you may hear the D word or go to H and maybe S, but that was it. I mean, where people are saying all that other stuff, no, you did not hear that on TV now at all, you know. And heck, I'll be 50 in January, and I'm still shocked at some of the things that they say on TV now, you know. And they wonder why do the kids curse so much? Well, because they can just sit and listen to it on TV all day long.
Yeah. What was the fashion like?
Fashion was awesome. It was awesome. You kids don't know how to dress now. Shoot. Get you some, now I liked when the tomboy style was in, and I still dress like that. Kind of like what you got on, the sweatshirt, and put on some sweatpants and tennis shoes, and girls used to dress like that, or a t-shirt and sweatpants, and but the t-shirt was a tighter fitting and the sweatpants was rolled down, and but the tennis shoes had to be nice. You had to have on the nice tennis shoes to make it an outfit. If you came in with some busted tennis shoes, now you was just being raggedy. But you had to have the nice tennis shoes. Everything had to be nice stuff, you know, to let people know, hey, this is an outfit. I just ain't being busted today, you know. And, or you were real preppy, you know. You had the alligator shirts, you know, with darker pants and Dooney and Burke handbags, which I absolutely love. I'm carrying one now, thank you very much. And, you know, it was either one or the other, you know. So it was just awesome. It is just awesome. Oh, and then the punk rock style. Yes, that punk rock style. And that just went anywhere and everywhere. The colors, the hair, and I wanted my hair done purple, but Mom was just, no, she wasn't having it.
So, like, what has been your favorite, like, decade?
The 80s.
Like, with the trends?
The 80s. It was the 80s. And I guess because that was when I did most of my growing up, you know, because I was in high school at that time, and I guess that's why it was my high school period, and I guess that's supposed to be your fun period, you know, and that's when I did see all the different styles and all the different fashions, and you can try out any one of the trends that you want to. You can be punk for this day, you can be tomboy for this day, you can be preppy for this day, and if people don't like it, you're like, so what? You know, I'm a junior, I'm a senior, I don't care what you think, you know, or heck, I'm Tina Murphy, I don't care what you think. That's just me, you know. I'm that type of individual, always have been. I don't care what you think. I'm not hurting anyone. I'm not causing anyone I'm not causing my family drama. So if you got a problem with me, that's your problem. And I hope you pick that up.
What were, like, the restaurants best out there?
Well, for young people, McDonald's. McDonald's. Everybody wanted to go to McDonald's. You know, it was McDonald's first, and then you'd go to Burger King, or you'd go in the Commons, you know, and then you'd pick you something up out there in the Commons, whatever was in the Commons, because you cruised in the Commons. That's what you did. You cruised around in the Commons. I didn't, because I saw no purpose in it, but some people cruised in the Commons. And the Butcher's Block, if you wanted to go somewhere nice, if you wanted to go someplace nice, you went to the Butcher's Block. They went there for, like, prom and things like that, or you just went out of town. Like that.
Okay, so the very last question of this interview is,
Okay.
like, just all around, who has been the biggest influence in your whole life?
I would say the biggest influence and the biggest hero to my whole life would be my dad. Because he taught me that you have to do what you have to do to make it. No matter what odds are against you, that you can do it. You know, if you really want something, you do what you can, and you do your best at it, and you give it everything you got. And then if that isn't enough, you dig a little bit harder, and you can make it. And then if you can't make it, you depend on your family for a little more help, because as big as our family is, somebody out there can help you, you know. And I guess because he was 19 years old when him and Mom married, and then I was born shortly after, and I've always thought that that was so great that he was that young, and she had already had 3 children, you know, and he went ahead and married, you know, because I was going to be born. And he took on that responsibility for me, you know, and he did a wonderful job at taking care of 5 girls, you know, and he's always been my hero and my greatest inspiration. I'm like, if he can do this at 19, I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything. So that's it.
And that was my interview for the Oral History Project for Miss Rominger. Thank you for watching.